Thank you. Normally the goat would just get up here and like shake a little bit and be like spilling the blood everywhere for everyone, but because I'm a member of Slamos and this is the 5-year anniversary, I'm gonna get a little sappy real quick. The poem that I'll be reading tonight, some of you may have heard before, because it's kind of my go-to if I get forced into goating, I mean volunteering into goating. And it was written at a time with the Slamo family when we were all in college and I was in the throes of like youthful enthusiasm and hope, and then I grew up. And I still, weirdly enough, have that youthful enthusiasm and hope, and that's entirely due to this family and this community that has been fostered. And so part of writing this poem was this sort of melancholy ending of thinking about, oh, what happens when college is over and like we all move away and we're not friends anymore, because that happens, things end. And I'm pleasantly surprised and as pleased as anyone to discover that that didn't happen. We did move away and we have grown up and we have changed, but we are still a family, and I think the thing that I took away from that was that growing up isn't so scary when you have people to do it with you. So here's a poem about that. Here's what we're gonna do. Yeah. We're gonna be alive. Find our old friends who still look young, feel young, taste young. We're gonna sleep on the floor. Curl up there when it's 3:36 a.m. just waving goodbye to the streets that stretch out their lamplight like fingers, grabbing hold of us, wrapping around our shaky caffeine-filled bodies, squeezing the life into us, and how we love it. We're gonna write about us. The things we say to blank pages, to crowds of strangers, to unlit cigarettes, to half-drunk beers, to microphones borrowed from other poets, to each other. We're gonna move our mouths, spreading our ideas like the autumn leaves strewn across our town, echoing our voices through those long-fingered streets, and in our hollow heads we fill up with one another. We're gonna consume one another, build a bonfire with our burning guts, throw our bodies into it until we're nothing but naked ambition, and maybe we'll crack, splinter in the heat, burst and combust, but what a good idea for a poem. We're gonna speak in new languages, in whispers, in late-night laughter, in early morning hungover mumbles, in heartfelt exclamations, in rage-filled protests, in words we just learned from writers who made them up after 3-hour trips on drugs we can't pronounce. We're gonna be static electricity, buzzing in the background of day-to-day life. No one knows exactly what we're doing, but we think we've got a plan when we stand on front porches with street lamps and whiskey in our town humming around us. We're gonna prick up our ears, listen to the way poetry sounds different on each of our tongues, and how music feels when it wells up inside of us, and not all of us can sing, only some of us can play, but somehow we still make a melody, rhythmically bound together and beating back the white noise. And I'm gonna watch them, these friends of mine, hold their faces between my hands until they are stuck to me like fingerprints. And when we're scattered in different towns, with different streets, with lamplight that doesn't touch us, I can press my fingers to my eyes and see their eyes looking back at me, and hear that music and feel that lamplight and be standing in those streets just one last time. Thank you.